Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Cornix, so welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I talk about it. This week's game is Batman Returns for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was released in 1993 and it's a single-player side-scrolling beat 'em up. Developed by Konami and also published by them, and also there'll be some spoilers up ahead just so you know, but first a little backstory. So I watched a Yacc episode where they talked about forgotten ports, so I know this game has a couple of other versions for the Sega and Super Nintendo, I believe. So it being on Nintendo, I was so curious that I had to play it. So at the start of the game, you get the Konami and the Batman Returns logo, and then you're prompted to press start. But if you wait a bit, you get a nice little cutscene. So Gotham City is finally at peace and free from the clutches of the Joker, but a strange man is watching from the sewers below, and it's time for Batman to return. So now you can press the start button or enter a password. So the first level of the game is Gotham Plaza, and since this is a beat 'em up, you need some enemies to fight. So you fight clowns, guys on stilts, fat clowns, and a guy on a bike with a cool skull helmet. And I don't know about you, but these seems to be like normal carnival people. And in fact, I did some research. They're actually based on the gang from the movie itself called the Red Triangle Circle Gang. So at the bottom of the screen to the far left, you have the current items, and at the start of the game, you have batarangs and a grappling hook, and you switch between those two with the select button. Also at the bottom of the screen, you have Batman's health and the current enemy's health. You also have box and high score. You can punch boxes or other breakables throughout the level to reveal items. And on my first try, I actually managed to beat the first level, which was a real surprise to me. Usually I go down. So the first boss of the game is a strong guy that just spins around, and I don't know if there's like a strategy to this or anything, but I just threw batarangs at him until I didn't have any more batarangs, then I brute forced him down. So there's a neat little thing in the background, there's a blinking Christmas tree, and once you beat the boss, you pick up a box and you move on. The second level of the game is Shrek's Department Store, and I'm not making up that title, that's what the game wants it to be. So the enemies of this level are fat purple leprechauns with guns, more guys on stilts, and some guys breathing fire, and different colored clowns. And for some reason, Catwoman appears in a cutscene saying that she will destroy this building. And this is where I got my first game over, by the way, so I learned about the password system. So you get a password and you can punch it in and return where you left off. The only problem with this is, since this is an arcade game sort of, you lose the high score. But if you don't care about score or points, then it doesn't really matter. And now it's time for rooftops, and there's more fighting to be had here. So the thing that I forgot to talk about, which is hilarious, is that Batman's punches are apparently so strong that he can send most of the enemies flying across the screen. Later in the level, there is a puzzle we need to avoid the electrocuted floor, but the enemies can just walk right through it. And I don't know what that's about. There's also a drone that drops bombs, so you need to avoid that and take it out before the whole floor disappears. And now it's time for the Ivory Tower, and this is basically a boss fight against Catwoman herself, so you need to dodge her attacks and whip. And sliding is a good move here, and I haven't talked about it, but I'll bring it up later. And once the battle is won, there's a cutscene where the Penguin talks to Catwoman about trapping Batman. So I didn't make it far this week, but that's fine with me. But I know this game has a cool segment where you drive the Batmobile, and there's also a fight against the Penguin himself in a huge yellow hydraulic duck. Because of course he has one. I don't know if it was in the movie or not, but it's still kind of cool. So gameplay. You're Batman dealing with Gotham's criminals, even confronting Catwoman and the Penguin himself. Control, the D-pad is movement, B button is attack, A and B is cape, the A button jumps, up and B is use item, down and B is block, and down and A is slide. The start button pauses and the select button switches between items. Graphics. So graphics are pretty good, especially the cutscenes, they're really nice. And there's also a cool snow effect going on while the cutscenes are playing. Sound and music. Shigemasa Matsuo and Takashi Tateishi made a soundtrack for this game. The music is really good, really high quality. I like the stage themes and the vehicle chase theme the most. Easter egg, secrets, and glitches. At the end of the game, there's a credit roll, but instead of credits, they're just funny inserts of names. And at the end of this, there is a penguin saying, "Awesome, you are the hero of all heroes." So in conclusion, I wrote, yes, play it if you're curious. The music is great and the in-game cutscenes are superb. However, I didn't make it that far. I'm not very good at beat-em-ups, and I think you only have one life and then it's game over. So maybe if you want a challenge, go play this game. So anyway, thank you for listening and or watching, and take care.